and welcome to another video. This time round, I'll be showing you how to make a Skepta-type beat from start to finish. So usually I start by putting all my samples and presets into the session before I make the track. And this way I can focus on the creative tasks, which is what I've done here. The track we're taking influence from in this session will be Wish You Were Here, although I'll also try and reference some other Skepta tracks as well. First thing I want to draw your attention to is the tempo. The tempo of Wish You Were Here is 135 BPM. So that's the tempo we're going to be working at. In terms of key, Skepta uses this sort of Phrygian variation quite a lot, but he kind of adds the major seventh as well. I think there are other videos which go into more depth about this, but all I've done here is that I've put this MIDI effect Skepta scale before all of the melodic instruments, and we're working in G sharp, Skepta scale, I suppose you'd call it. And I'll make this MIDI device available below the video so you can just drag it into Ableton. In terms of the instrumentation, I've got this kick here. It's just a simple kind of 909 kick, just very kind of functional. We've got this clap, which also has a triangle on it. The clap was almost identical to the Wish You Were Here clap, so I just decided to use it. It also has a triangle on it, which is present in that track as well. We've got a shaker, and then a closed hat, again, really simple. We've got this grimy bass. I have a tutorial on how to make these kind of basses, and I will put it on the screen now, and I'll put it in the description as well, along with the free serum preset. And for the melodic content, we've got some strings, contact strings. Again, these are in the Skepta scale because of the MIDI device. And yeah, let's get started. So we're going to start off with the bass, and then we're going to move on to the melody stuff and just go from there. Metronome on. Couple of things you'll notice actually about this is it kind of follows a similar rhythm to Wish You Were Here, but it's kind of just about different enough that it sounds like a different track, basically, which is kind of the idea, well, with this whole thing. Let's program some lead MIDI now. Fairly happy with that, so we can start with the drums now. I'm gonna use a groove as well, just to add a bit of swing to the drums. And we'll use a garage groove as usual. Take the timing down, take the velocity down. I'm going to pan these to different sides as well, just for stereo width. Actually, I think they'll probably sound better if they're on the same side in this instance. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that in terms of having a basic loop. So I'm just going to look at the kind of structure and arrangement now, and maybe add a few other things. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take the bass out for the first sort of 8 bars. The strings I'm going to shift up an octave for the sort of second part of the chorus. So I'm just going to duplicate this, and then I'm going to use the pitch so we can keep the MIDI the same. So if we want to change anything, then we can just sort of drag back over the new MIDI. And then this will be the kind of verse, or the first verse. I'm probably just going to do intro, chorus 1, verse, chorus 2, and then maybe another verse. Again, this will jump the octave here. Might also put a little kind of fill here. So I decided I'm going to make the bridge section just because there's only 2 sections here and it's nice to have a bit more variety in a track. What I'm actually going to do is I'm going to duplicate the strings and I'm going to basically use an arpeggiator to essentially strip down the melody. At the moment it's kind of on 8th notes, and I think, yeah, it's on 8th notes, but I want it to be all on quarter notes. So if I change this to 1/4, essentially it will strip out all of the notes on 8th notes. Which I think is what happens in the track, where it's kind of something similar to this. We'll go back into the verse. In fact, I might just go straight back into the chorus and then we can just sort of finish it here. I mean, the aim is sort of to make a 3-minute track, but if it's a little bit under, I don't think it matters too much. Especially if we're trying to sort of recreate. If I was doing something original, I'd probably, well, I might use a different structure. I might also do more kind of A and B sections. This is kind of just more like a beat, I guess. So it's the same idea and it sort of runs the whole way through. Yeah, so now I'm just going to listen through and I'll do kind of little changes potentially. And yeah, just try and kind of make the thing fit together as well as possible. Just gonna make a few little changes here as well. I've added these back, but I've made them much kind of more staccato. I've made the bass in the chorus more legato. I'm also changed this little fill. And maybe add another kick. Maybe in the intro we can have it like this. I always like to come back to beats a few hours after I've made them with a fresh set of ears, and that's what I've done here. So I've changed several things. For example, the kick. I've switched out for a sample that's a bit less tonal, and I've also added a kind of low thump kick. And I've used the EQ3 to kind of split the frequencies here. I've also tuned the triangle in the clap. This is done using span. I think I tuned it to an F because that was the note that the triangle was closest to in the key of the track. There you go. For the hats, I put them into a choke group, so only one of them can trigger at a time. Doesn't make a huge difference, but just kind of helps to keep things tight. One of the main things I've done is I've added an 808 in the verse. I didn't feel the low strings were working particularly well. I just didn't really like their timbre, to be honest. So I took them out, and I wanted to add a new element in the verse and just have a bit more sub so that when it kind of goes from here, so there's just a little bit more emphasis for the second part of the verse. I've also slightly altered the main melody. Kind of moving a few of the notes around. You may have also noticed I've got some very dry reverb on send, and I've sent varying amounts of each instrument to this reverb aside from the kick. And yeah, that's it, guys. The compositional aspect of the beat is finished. I hope you enjoyed the video. As usual, I've got Serum presets and samples available from a link in the description. I'll leave the Skepta scale MIDI effect below along with the Serum preset and a bounce of the finished beat. Let me know what you thought of the video, and if you'd like me to do more in this style, feel free to suggest a producer or a track. I may also do a second part to this video looking more at the mixing. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.